What is up?
What is up? Hi.
Go, 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 go!
Unify, go.
Hello.
Today we're going to be talking about studying Japanese and English. I'm studying Japanese and Yuka is studying English.
So my name is Yuka. I'm 21 years old. Living in Japan. Going to work in Japan.
That's Yuka.
That's Yuka.
I'm 21 years old. I'm living in Japan and working in Japan. So it's the same thing.
And then we used to live in Canada.
And we both used to live in Canada, but I'm a native and she's a visitor.
Sister, study abroad.
My blood is Canadian.
I'm glad you're Japanese. No, 99% Japanese.
What's the 1%?
Russian.
Russian? Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Oh my god.
Really? Really?
It's true. It's a way back ago though. Like
that's a really small percentage.
Great parents.
Oh jeez, 1%. She's Russian. Justin, she's Russian.
I'm half Japanese, half Russian.
1% is not half. It's 49% short.
You're 100% Canadian.
Not technically, no. I'm like Norwegian and Italian and English and
all mixed.
Scottish, I think. I don't know. I'm a big mix. I'm a mess. Today we are going to ask each other questions about learning language. Learning languages.
We have 3 questions each, and I'm gonna ask you 3 questions about how you learn Japanese. Question number 1.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to study Japanese?
When I grew up, I had a lot of influence from Japanese media.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, I played Pokemon. Everyone played Pokemon, but I played Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved Ghibli, Studio Ghibli.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically Sento Chihiro.
Oh.
Spirited Away. That was my favorite movie. And
It's
so
filmed in Taiwan though.
well, it wasn't filmed in Taiwan. It's based off of Taiwan architecture.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, you know.
Yes.
I liked it a lot. And I watched like Pom Poko and some other like more lesser known Ghibli movies.
Yeah, he knows the things that I don't know. Like we normally don't know.
Otaku stuff. But I didn't really watch any anime besides like Ghibli until high school. Most people study Japanese because they love anime, but I started Japanese in high school just because I was like, it seems fun. When I was in grade 11. I didn't have to take a language, but I saw Japanese and thought, that sounds really cool, I like Japan. So once I started learning Japanese, I started watching anime, and that's how that happened. But yeah, basically I liked Japan, and then I started in high school, and ever since I learned it in high school, I've loved the language, and so I haven't stopped studying.
Okay, the next question.
Next question.
How to sound native?
How to sound native? Just copy native speakers.
Right.
What I do is either when I'm talking to people or if I'm watching a movie. Not anime, because anime uses a lot of Japanese that you shouldn't use.
Right, yeah.
Like omaida or something. Like you don't walk up to people like, oh my god. So,
It can't be
like
weird.
Japanese dramas, like love dramas, they use good Japanese. And also if you're talking to people in Japanese, just copy what they say. Copy how they, also like their intonation and how they say it and their pronunciation, just copy that. And it comes naturally, I guess. Yeah, I would just watch videos of people speaking Japanese and like just memorize how they said it.
I believe that's the fastest
Just copy, yeah.
way to improve your languages.
Just copy, yeah.
Copy and speak out.
Speak out.
Okay, number 3. What do you use for study?
So the first thing I used, there's a book called The Dictionary of Basic Japanese Grammar. So it's this yellow book. And if you can, so I started by memorizing everything in there, learning everything in that book. If you know everything in this book, you're pretty much conversationally fluent, grammatically. So you know all the grammar principles to speak Japanese in a conversation. So I use that first, and right now what I do is, one, I read manga, and if there's a word I don't know, then I'll mark it or I'll study it. And also Japanese light novel. Yeah, so this is kind of an advanced study method, but I'm reading a light novel and I mark all the kanji that I don't know, And usually, if a word comes up, they'll usually use it many times in that page or chapter, and so it kind of, you know. So I'll do that, as well as I'm studying for the Japanese, the Japanese language proficiency exam, and so they have textbooks here, which you can also use. So I do that as well, like reading.
When are
and
you going to
marking.
take a test?
December.
Good luck.
But yeah, read the Japanese books and learn what words they use. Okay, is it my turn?
Yes.
Yuka, what made you want to study English?
It's a long story.
We have a lot of time.
You know, in Japanese school, the system in like education system is like you have to study English from elementary school. So we have to study. But since when I was 12 years old, I was interested in Disney Channel.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in home one day, I watched the Disney Channel. It was Hannah Montana. And I am so obsessed with like watching Hannah Montana. And I loved the Western culture, or how English sounds like, or how people wear clothes. And then I started reading like fashion magazines or like Western culture songs, English songs. And I especially loved Miley Cyrus CDs, so I bought so many CDs, and I saw the lyrics and I followed the lyrics, and I looked up the things I didn't know, and then gradually I understand what it said, what it means. That's when I interested in English, and since then I'm so in love with like drama,
TV dramas?
High School Music,
High School Musical?
High School Musical,
Oh gosh.
or Glee. So many
Shoot,
movies.
wow.
I love Disney movies. I love Toy Story. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I love Inside Out. I love, so many things.
So short answer, thank you, Miley Cyrus.
Yes, she changed my life.
If you're watching Miley Cyrus, you made someone speak English
Yes.
because of your fashion sense. Okay, how do you improve your English?
Okay, so since I started watching movies or things like that, I was pretty good at like listening to English, but not really good at speaking out.
Right.
So before I go to Canada, I was like thinking a sentence in my head and then speak out. So it was taking so much time to speak naturally. But since I got a boyfriend in Canada, it's a massive story.
It's a good technique. Just date someone in the country.
So like I went to Canada as study abroad. My university in Japan has connection with University of Westbridge. So I passed the TOEFL test and I got like 85 points out of 120.
Oh wow.
It was really hard. It was really hard. And then I went to University of Westbridge and stayed 1 year as a student, and I learned linguistic, religion study, or gender study. Oh, I also got Asian study, I guess, Asian culture study. And then I was in a class and I met someone who looks like an Asian Canadian, but I'm not sure if he was Japanese or Canadian. And then he spoke up to me, "Are you Japanese?" And I said yes. And then he wanted to be a friend with me. So we exchanged our Facebook and we became friends. And
Wait, was he Japanese?
He was Japanese and Canadian.
Did he speak Japanese or just English?
He used to live in Japan for 2 years. I don't want to talk about this too much. Like, then we started dating, and you know, when you have boyfriend or girlfriend, you often talk to each other, right? And you have to message or call. And then I learned so many new words or vocabularies or the way you say. That's how I improve my English.
Just find a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
That's the fastest way. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Not that I have too much experience. Okay. Question 3. How do you keep up your English?
It's a good question. Because I'm not good at English still.
What are you talking about? That's a fib.
Okay, I lied. So, yeah, I came back to Japan last June. And I knew that there is not so many opportunities to use English in daily life. But thanks to church that where I go, there are missionaries from mostly America, or at least English-speaking country, so I can talk to them and hang out with them. Yeah, pretty much like that.
American friends.
Or I can talk to friends over phone, like
Mhm.
my friends in Canada, America. Or I have a friend, like a best friend in New Zealand, and then we used to Skype all the time and exchange like letters. So like, yeah, before I go to Canada, I used to live in New Zealand for 2 weeks, only 2 weeks. So
Okay.
I learned how to pronounce English words from her.
Mhm.
So I still have like a little Kiwi accent, like slightly, you can tell.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, like communicating with friends in all over the world.
So connection.
And going to
basically.
church is a good thing.
Going to church makes it better. Cool. That's it. That's all the
That's
questions.
That's it, pretty much. Yeah.
Just, study books and have friends and make a girlfriend. Be fun.
Girlfriend, boyfriend.
Girlfriend, boyfriend. That's the secret. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Just date the nationality of your choice.
International dating is fun. Like, you will stack out like the things from like culture differences.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at the same time it's fun, like to know different cultures
True.
or improve your languages, of course, and enjoy your food, enjoy different culture.
It's great.
Yeah, last week I was in Philippines, and then even though they speak English, I enjoy like a weird accent of them.
Yeah.
So it was
The Tagalog
fun to communicate with.
accents.
They were so kind and friendly. I love that country. I would recommend to travel Canada first and the Philippines second.
Sweet. That's the end of that. If you have any questions, please comment and we'll get back to you about, language learning or Japanese.
And check
English.
my Facebook Japanese page.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
updating.
link it in the description.
You
Yuka's got
are.
a Japanese learning page. If you want to learn Japanese, she posts quite frequently, every couple days,
Like once in a week.
like once a week. You can go like her on Facebook and subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching. Woo!
Bye bye.
Bye.
And I
Okay.
used to worship her. Thanks
The
to
Miley
her.
Cyrus religion.
Yep. She changed my
Start
life.
at church.
She changed my life.
Changed my life.